So let's jump in and kind of set a foundation for everyone around the evolution of conversational AI. And Lovina, I'd like to start with you. What have you seen building in this market over the years, and kind of what's been your experience bringing this wealth of knowledge from several of these high-class companies?
Yeah, well, certainly from my time at Amazon in particular, I had really a front row seat to the growth of conversational AI with Alexa. And, I remember when Alexa was launched, actually voice-based search with Google or with Apple, with Siri was already a pretty big thing. But the idea that people would pay $200 for a device to put in their home that basically delivered search, it was quite surprising. And of course it was big. And what it really showed us is the tremendous, pent up demand for natural interfaces and for natural, language interaction. And so now if we sort of fast forward to where are we today with it, I think there's something like 60 million Americans own a smart speaker. And that's sort of at the end of last year. And the forecasts are we'll get to the point of having over half of US households in the next 3 years own a smart speaker. And just to unpack some of those numbers, when you read numbers like that, they're really only talking about, devices like Echo and Google Home. And it's not really capturing the other thing that's going on with natural language, which is all of these voice interfaces being embedded to all kinds of other devices, appliances, light switches, cars, et cetera, et cetera. So if you count all of those different touch points with voice, you sort of see this grand vision that the whole world will become, voice controllable, and that voice will be the next great human technology interface and really be pervasive. And that's a big vision. And when I sort of unpack all of that and say, well, what nuances are there inside that I learned at Amazon? One of them was voice by itself, is actually a low bandwidth channel, relative to your eyes and to seeing, and all of the information that seeing, can communicate and you can interpret using your eyes. There's only so much information that you could glean using voice. And Alexa shopping is a good example of that. If you compare being able to say, hey, find me a little black dress, to doing the same thing, with Amazon.com and all of the information that comes back on the many different types of little black dresses and the different sellers and the price point, voice is quite low bandwidth. And so what we saw with Alexa is that it was used, tremendously for, pretty short conversations. Tell me the news, what's the weather today, play my music. But to really engage people, you have to put back the element of seeing, right? Because all the different things that you can communicate with your eyes, whether it's emotions, whether it's other types of information, eyes are high bandwidth. And so that's why I think digital humans will have a really, really important future, because they take that notion of this sort of natural voice interface, but they add back all the richness that we get through being able to kind of see and have two-way vision-based conversations as well.
Yeah, you really highlight the roadmap of the user interface changing, not only from a computer to computer, but the human to computer type of evolution there. It's only a matter of time that we continue to see this roadmap progress where the user interface does embody that completely visual experience. So thank you for that.